Hello, hello. Welcome back. Welcome back to me again. It seems to be a common thing that I say. I am Yvonne. You may or may not have known me. If this is the first time you're seeing me, welcome. Thank you for having me in your space. I am the founder and CEO of Women's Fitness Adventures, and every Monday for about the past, or Saturday, Sunday, or Monday for about the past 8 years, I have been doing a live session, and I check in with all the things that have been happening in the hiking world, happening in my world, and all of those that I interact with as well. So for the past 3 or 4 Mondays, it seems like forever, I have been away on my own adventure, but I am back and I'm delighted to have you here. So welcome to Monday Night Live. If you are watching live, I'd love to know where you're watching from and stop in and say hello. And if you have any questions as we go, then please just pop them in there, or any comments I'd love to hear. It's just my views, but the more we have this interaction, the more fun and enjoyment we'll have this evening. And hi, Karen from Claremont. Lovely to have you here. So I have recently returned from my own holiday, and for the first time in 9 years since Women's Fitness Adventures started, I didn't take my laptop. I switched off my emails and did not have any internet connection for about 8 days. And whilst that was hard in the beginning, it was really, really refreshing. And there's that saying that you need to sometimes go slow to go fast, and that we have our most creative times when we have the ability to think and have some space. So I certainly had that, and I've come back with such renewed excitement for the year ahead. After the couple of years that we've all had in the space of not knowing what might be happening or what we could or couldn't do, it's now a great year ahead where there's a lot more certainty than there has been. Nothing's a given, but there's certainly a lot more certainty. And I am, along with the team, really excited about what Women's Fitness Adventures is bringing to everyone this year, but also what's in store for you if you choose to just embrace the opportunity. So that brings me to the topic of tonight's conversation. It's lessons that I learnt from my recent travels, lessons about myself that I learned from my recent travels, and also returning to the heat, what that means. So I'll explain that one in a little more detail as well. So hello to Leanne up in Yeppoon on a bit of a holiday, or unless you've moved up there. And hello to Kate as well, just around the corner from me. So I hope that you are all doing well. And remember, if you are watching live, please drop me a note. It's nice to know that you're there. I can't see you. I don't know who you are unless you identify yourself. So it's always nice to have some of my anonymous watchers tell me where we're from, or at least saying hi. So lessons from travel. So I traveled to the other side of the world and had a great time. But a couple of things that I learned along the way, and I saw from, just sitting in airports and sitting on, planes, trains and automobiles, is that mobility is the key. And inside Women's Fitness Adventures, we have our 3 words that we choose for the year. And mine for this year are mobility for movement, or movement for mobility, whichever way you want to do it. And that, in all of these places that we go, we have stairs, we have lift, we have to wait for lifts if we don't want to take the stairs, and we have lots of opportunities for fun. But if we're not mobile, if we're not able to lift, to bend, to stretch, to squat, then we miss out on a whole lot of opportunities. And travel is certainly a lot harder. And that doesn't mean travel from, to literally to the other side of the world. That can mean travel to the local supermarket. And I was chatting with my trainer the other day when I returned back from holidays to the gym, which is a pretty hard thing to come back to. And we were talking about the whole issue of mobility, and how that we often think that we don't need to do things such as a squat, or to be able to step over a log, or to be able to, reach up to that really, really tall cupboard, because they're things that we don't need to do. They're not in our everyday sphere, and that we don't actually need them till it's time to need them. But you know what? All of those things that we use for hiking, that ability to step over a log, our ability to squat down, to do a bush wee, or to, crawl ourselves, if a tree's fallen, crawl ourselves under a log, or step on some boulders and stuff like that, or rock hop, or whatever it might be, or even just navigate our feet along a trail. are all skills, all mobility things that we need to have in our everyday life to function well. So mobility for movement, movement for mobility is such a key, and that if you find that your movement or your mobility is limited, then I really encourage you to have a think about that, because the moves aren't hard. It's just practicing them with repetition and consistency. Hey, Kim, also up in Yeppoon, and hi, Anne from Nambour, and hi, Annie from Koroi, Noosa. I hope you're doing really well, Annie. The other thing is, I learned from my travels, is don't wait. Don't wait for tomorrow. Tomorrow may never come. And all the people that I met on my travels were, we're doing this while we can. We're doing this till you may have to peel us off our Zimmer frame. We're doing this because we have the opportunity to do that now. And the why wait doesn't mean that we have to throw everything up in the air and travel to the distant realms of the universe. The why wait means I'm going to go for that walk down to my local park that I've been thinking about for years. I'm going to go to the beach for a Sunday morning sunrise. I'm going to sit up and watch the stars in the sky, or that eclipse, or whatever it might be, because those things, those small moments in time, are the things that make up the chapters in our book, the story of our lives. And if we keep waiting one day, or I can't go to that dinner because I have nothing to wear, I'll wait till I get something to wear, I'll wait till I'm fitter, till I'm more financial, till I'm healthier, happier, whatever it might be. Please don't wait, because of all the things I've seen in the last 12 months, and I've been on lots of adventures because we had a lot of catching up to do. If you wait, you miss out. And the waiting could be for the thing that is in your very next backyard, your very next suburb. So I really encourage you to take the bull by the horn, and that thing you might have been putting off, that little tiny thing of, I'll just wait till those ducks line up. Remember, we only need the one duck. And hi, Tanya, as well. Lovely to catch up with you yesterday. And the other thing I saw in my travels was this really refreshing thing that people are prepared to now get out of their own comfort zone. And I was catching up with my sisters on Saturday, and we were talking about getting out of our comfort zone. And if it doesn't challenge you, it doesn't change you. And it doesn't have to be that big jump off the bungee thing to challenge you and to change you, but just to start to have you think differently about questions or topics, or view the world from a different perspective. And that's getting out of your comfort zone. The other thing was just to really and it comes back to lessons for self as well when I get to that, is to swim in our own lane. So comparisons to ourselves only. And, if I talk about my fitness level, I could say that I am fitter than most people I know. But then if I hang around with my friends who are ultra marathon runners, then I'm not fit at all. So if I start to think about where I fit in the scheme of my life, and swim in my own lane, or hike in my own lane, or whatever that might be, then I'm not worrying about, am I good enough for that, or am I, do I need to boost myself for this or for that? So swimming also, so that measuring or comparison of our fitness is only with ourselves. But of course, we can only challenge ourselves if we're hanging around or participating in doing things with people that are at that next level above. For example, tennis players only get better if they play with a tennis player that is better than them. So if you have friends that are always sitting on the couch and you're out and active, then you are probably the fittest person you know. But if you stepped it up a little bit and, started hanging around with people that are walking regularly or doing something regularly that you enjoy, then you may find that, your overall fitness starts to increase. And Tanya, I love that. Tanya, we did a hike yesterday, a good 12 kilometers, and it pushed her out of her comfort zone. I'll just share this. And she's very pleased that she did it. And I am very tough that you did that too, Tanya. It was a great morning, a great hike, lots of challenges for all of us. And the other thing the lessons from my my travels was that for all of our members here, I know you have this as well, is that you have the hiking skills, you have the hiking knowledge, you have the adventure knowledge, that I was helping people on the trail all the time, whether that was a snow peak that I was on, or a boulder trail that I was on. I was helping people all the time. I can't help it. And because they were scared walking down a hill that they were going to fall. And, as soon as the techniques or skills were given, it made such a difference to their experience. I did go on a guided hike one day, and the guide actually said to me, he said, "You're the client today. Please just relax, let this go." So I guess it's inherent in there that I'm constantly watching out for others. And I know there are so many people out there that are so keen to do adventure stuff, and with just a little bit of knowledge and a little bit of skill, could have an even better time than what they had on the trail. Because I did see people who should not have been on particular trails, who did not have the skill set, who weren't following the signs saying no one is permitted on this trail after 2 p.m, yet are going around the sign knowing that if something happened to them, they would have to be rescued off the trail. So really interesting observation of humankind. And hi, Meg, watch on replay tonight. Okay. And hi, Mandy as well. Lovely to see you there. Lessons from myself, lessons what I learned about myself. Every time I come home from an adventure, on my journey home, I reflect on the time that I've had, and I often shed a tear on my way home, because I think of myself as very fortunate to have been able to go to the places I've been able to go, but also very appreciative that we still have places in the world that are protected, that are able to be preserved for what they are, and that we have them as great learning experiences. But I think what brings a tear to my eye is that I throw myself wholeheartedly into my holidays, into my travels, into my adventures. And, people say, but you were only gone 2 weeks. It went so quickly. There's a whole lot of research around there that says that if you're doing something new and you're fully immersed and you're fully present in it, then time actually slows down. And that when we're doing the routine stuff that we know inside and out, that we don't have to think about, then time actually goes really fast. So that's why when you've gone away to, maybe Europe for 4 weeks or whatever we might have traveled, or, you had a 2-week beach holiday, that it stretched on and on. Remember those summer holidays as kids that stretched on and on because we were fully immersed every single day. But to our parents, it probably felt like they went really, really quickly. So it's when we're in the moment, when we're learning, seeking, and discovering about others, about places, about spaces, and about ourselves, that time slows down. And I think for me, that when a holiday has such an impact, when I'm fully immersed, I come home a different person to who I was. I've learned from new people. I've seen the world from other people's eyes. I've seen spaces and places and, environments and governments and all sorts of things, from whether that's local government or, country government, from different people's views. And all of those have sometimes a small and sometimes a big impact, and the stories of the people that I meet as well. So, being that traveler, that holidayer at heart, that is really open to there's this other study that is, you can go somewhere and you can lock yourself in your hotel room and sit by the pool and have a fabulous time. And that's fantastic. But there's another one, I think it's called I can't remember the exact word, the interaction theory or something like that. When you go to a place and you interact with the locals and the environment, and it has that impact on you, and you come home a different person. That's the kind of holiday person that I am. Tanya says here, our community takes care of each other, encouraging and supporting. Absolutely. And we can see that. And it doesn't matter. We're talking about the Women's Fitness Adventures community. It doesn't matter if you are, your first time or your 100th time or more. There is always someone looking out for you and always supporting you, and always a great way to meet new friends as well. And hi, Jennifer. Thank you. Welcome back. But one thing I did do this week was return to the heat. So I was in a cold climate for my holiday, and I returned home to Brisbane this week it was like humidity was over 100%. It had to be. It wasn't quite raining, so it wasn't 100%. It was like thick soup, just that heavy, really oppressive feeling. And it was time to return to exercise, time to return to hiking. And we often say if you can hike in the heat, you can literally hike anywhere in the world. And every time I go somewhere cold and I hike, I know that that is true. But hiking in the heat brings its own challenges as well. It brings about the whole issue of staying hydrated or being well hydrated. So the keys to that are starting to have, more hydration than you think you need days and days before. So at the moment, if you're in Queensland and you're hiking regularly, then you pretty much should be, hydrating every single day, having that extra glass of water than you think you need. But then also allowing yourself time to recover and, making sure that you replenish. And, if in the last couple of days, if I had a swimming pool, I would just have been stuck in that swimming pool. Because one thing that happened to me, and it's only ever happened twice to me in all of my hiking life, is that I got that exercise-induced vasculitis. So that hiker's rash that happens around the ankle. And it happens when you just your blood vessels get so hot that the rash starts to happen around your ankles. Wearing boots and socks, and then I wear small gaiters to stop the stones coming in, cause that rash to happen. So today on my hike, I wore trail shoes and really light socks, and it seems to have disappeared. So, all these things that we learn about ourselves when we're hiking in the heat or hiking in a different climate. For example, hiking over my holidays in a cold climate, my feet got really, really cold, really, really cold. So learning how do I keep, every time I go to a cold climate, how do I keep my extremities nice and warm so that they don't freeze? Not that they'll freeze really, but so that they don't get so cold that I've stopped enjoying the experience that I'm there for. So lots and lots of lessons from everybody I meet. There's stories about Walter and Mary that I'm going to share with you as well. Just so many wonderful life lessons and wonderful experiences that can happen when you open your mind to them. And whether you travel far and wide or whether you travel near to home, just being open to those experiences, open to the conversations, open to different perspectives really has an impact on the traveller at heart. And I think that that's where it makes such a difference to who we are and adds more and more chapters to our story. Jennifer says, hiker's rash happened to a few of us on Bruny Island recently. And I understand we had a group of Women's Fitness Adventures members on our Tasmanian Deep South adventure the week before last, that it was quite warm weather down there in Tasmania, which we weren't, we're expecting warm, but not warm all the time because the weather can be variable. So that hiker's rash can kind of sneak up on you as well. And if you're not sure what it is, it can look a little bit frightening because sometimes it can be a little bit aggressive. So they're my key things from this week. So lessons from travel, lessons of self about travel, and returning to the heat with hiking. But as I said at the beginning, I'm very excited about this year. I have tonight we have our first Adventure Ready for Hiking course starting. It's our pilot program, and I'm very excited to welcome a whole lot of adventurers to the course. It's something we've been working on at Women's Fitness Adventures for a long time, because we know many of you who aren't members, many of you who are members as well, but have access to this, many of you who aren't members have your own adventures booked and you still have questions. So that is a course that we are starting tonight, which is 12 weeks long. So that is really exciting. We've got book club tomorrow night. I have lots and lots and lots of things that I want to talk about with our Year of Yes tomorrow night. Our cardio boost returns this week. Our functional fitness is back as well. There's some local hikes, and for all of our members, the Stomp dates have been launched across Brisbane, Sydney, Melbourne and Adelaide. So we will be sending you some news about Stomp dates. So we're hoping to get to most of those locations to do Stomp. So we'll have some news in the next couple of days. So lots and lots going on. Member Connect is coming up as well. So looking forward to all of that. But I just want to give a big shout out to everyone I know inside the Women's Fitness Adventures community that stands up, that steps up, that is, really putting your health and your wellness first. A lot of us say that, what's most important to you, my health is, yet, there's a lot of people not doing anything about it. So I really applaud you, because it takes a lot. It takes a lot to get over the guilt of putting ourselves first, just time for ourselves, not necessarily ourselves first all the time, just a small bit of time for ourselves. And we can find guilt wherever we look. We can find whatever answer we want, depending who we talk to as well. So I just applaud all of our members because I think that you are pretty amazing. And I look forward to sharing 2023 with you. I know we've got some super things lined up, and I just look forward to the amazing stories of success that you all have. Just success about your health and your wellness and your own personal journeys. And it's so lovely to hear all of that. So that's it from me. I will be back next Monday night. I'm still here next Monday night. So I look forward to catching up with you then. If you have any questions or comments, please just pop them in below. Otherwise, most of you know how to reach us. So I look forward to catching up with you then. So thanks for listening. Talk to you then. Bye-bye.